Just to make sure that we're live. I'll open. Just let me know when we're live.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's event, co-organized by the Commercial and Economic Affairs section here in Munich from the General Consulate of the Republic of Bulgaria here. Warm greetings from me. My name is Stefan Yonkov. I am heading the Commercial and Economic Affairs section. Welcome to my colleagues from the Bulgarian Small and Medium Enterprises Promotion Agency, our co-organizer. Welcome to UnternehmerTUM. Welcome to BESKO, Bulgarian Startup Association. Great pleasure for me to greet all of you with today's event, I want to say that the aim of this event is to create new opportunities for the Bulgarian startup and technology companies. Munich is famous for industry, for the best cars, for the best beer, for the best bretzel, of course for Oktoberfest, but also this is the capital of Germany for high tech, for technology, and this is why the German, basically the Bavarian government is investing 2 billion euros in the coming years in the high tech agenda. Bulgaria, on the other side, famous for German investments, famous for German trade, but also on third place in the world for IT specialists per capita. Also brilliant innovators and startups, which we will see today. Just to say a few words on the program, we'll have the opening words by Mr. Boyko Takov, who is the Executive Director of the Bulgarian Small and Medium Enterprise Promotion Agency, and we'll be honored to listen to Mr. Christian Mohr, Executive Director, Managing Director of UnternehmerTUM, Germany. Then a presentation to follow by Mrs. Anna Bayer, Coordinator of International Relations of UnternehmerTUM, and Mrs. Violeta Dimova, Manager Business Development for UnternehmerTUM. We will continue with a presentation by Mr. Nathaniel Stefanov from BESKO and the presentation of 12 Bulgarian startups. So, Boyko, I pass the word to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yonkov. Dear Mr. Mohr, dear distinguished guests, it is a great honor for me to be a part of this event and to be a co-organizer, our agency to be co-organizer of this event. Of course, first of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mr. Stefan Yonkov, to BESKO, Mr. Nathaniel Stefanov, of course, Sofia Tech Park, and our Germany's colleagues. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. We have a well-developed ecosystem, an entrepreneurial ecosystem, and expanding venture capital community. And our agency trying to help and to help this growing of our ecosystem with different measures. One of these measures, which I would like to point out, is our fund, National Innovation Fund, which our agency managing more than 10 years. For this period, for this time, we support more than 500 companies with a budget approximately 90 million BGN, which is around 45 million euro. Of course, we have also other different measures like voucher scheme we have for ICT services, etc. Today, our German friends will meet many positive and ambitious people who work together in great companies, and I'm sure that it will be very easy for both sides to communicate, because Germany is our leading foreign economic partners for many years, and there are strong traditions between our two countries, which today allow us to work effectively for the development of our bilateral economic relations. Thank you for your attention, Mr. Jonkov.
Thank you, Mr. Takov. Mr. Christian Moore, Managing Director of UnternehmerTUM. The word is yours.
So thank you and good morning, Mr. Jonko, and also Mr. Tako and everyone in the audience. So my name is Christian Moore. I'm a member of the executive management team at UnternehmerTUM, managing partner. And Europe is all about connections. And what we started to achieve in the Munich ecosystem, and especially also when we come to the high-tech agenda, we started to build real strong connections, sustainable connections. And as just recently data showed in also leading newspapers the last upcoming weeks, actually that investment in startups and so new technology actually multiplied by 12 for Europe compared to the US, by 10 compared to Asia by 9. And the other thing was actually that every invested euro in startups in Europe is more profitable than an investment into the Asian or in the US region. So this is a really good sign for Europe as a continent and as a union itself, that there's a high potential, but it's still the beginning. So that's what I really love about this event today, because this event today is another step in building another sustainable connections all over Europe, and especially now talking about bridging Bulgaria and the German ecosystem. And that's a warm thank you from my side again for having this opportunity, also to Violeta Dimova for actually making this connection. And now what UnternehmerTUM is and what UnternehmerTUM makes successful in the story will be now handed over to Anna and Violeta to give you some insights on this one, and wishing you a really great event this morning.
Thank you so much. Oh, okay.
Anna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, for being part of this event. And I would love to show you some slides, and I hope it's clear to see and to understand. Perhaps someone can give me a thumb up of you when you see the screen, the slide. Thank you, Christian. Okay. So again, thank you and hello everyone. My name is Anna. I'm part of Team International at UnternehmerTUM. And yeah, me and my colleague Violeta will gladly provide you with an overview of our entrepreneurship center now, and maybe you can even identify possible collaboration opportunities. But before we dive a little deeper, let's watch a video together with some welcome words of our CEO, Helmut Schönenberger.
UnternehmerTUM offers founders and startups a complete service from the initial idea to the IPO. As an affiliate institute of the Technical University of Munich, UnternehmerTUM is a unique platform for the development of innovations. UnternehmerTUM actively identifies new technologies and initiates new business through the systematic networking of talents, ideas, capital, and customers.
My name is Helmut Schönenberger. We are here in the largest European entrepreneurship center. We start every week another company, so totally it's over 50 scalable companies per year, which means it's about 10% of the whole German tech startup deal flow. UnternehmerTUM was started about 20 years ago. We have a team of 250 entrepreneurs, innovators, tech and business experts here. and our passion is to foster the next generation of entrepreneurs and also build the bridge between startups, established companies, and university. So have fun on the tour and hope to see you soon.
We help founders to implement their ideas and startups with the development of their products. Up-and-coming startups that have been supported by UnternehmerTUM include Tado, intelligent thermostat systems regulating room temperatures; Conux, creating smart sensoring systems connected to AI; and Flix Mobility, that quickly went from a startup to one of Europe's leading intercity coach companies.
Okay, great. I hope you got already a nice overview of what UnternehmerTUM does. And yeah, and before I go on, it's great to welcome more of our colleagues from UnternehmerTUM and contact persons of our program landscape. So welcome and wonderful to have you with us today. Christian, you already said something for welcome words. Thank you that you introduced yourself and the business creators, and also your colleague Violetta, which was mainly part of organizing this event. Then our colleague Julius from the UnternehmerTUM Venture Capital Partners. We also welcome Henrike, program manager of a 5-month accelerator program, which promotes and scales solutions to the most pressing social, environmental, and economic challenges. In addition, Lisa, a colleague from our pre-incubation program and startup coach. And last but not least, our colleague Robert from our 3-month incubation program called Expreneurs, which supports strong high-tech teams on the way to the market entry. Robert already is quite familiar with the Bulgarian startup ecosystem and spent some time in Sofia before, for example, in participating at Founder X Europe in Sofia or visiting co-working spaces or the Founder Institute while meeting several stakeholders. So to our program, my colleague Violetta will give you a nice overview in detail later, and you also will receive the slides. Unfortunately, you cannot be in Munich on site today, but anyway, welcome. And Munich, you already heard it, is well known as one of the leading tech hubs in Europe with really top universities, notable research institutions, a strong investment landscape, and yeah, our extensive startup ecosystem. Yeah, almost 20 years ago, you heard it in the clip, 2002, the entrepreneur and shareholder Suzane Klaatten laid the foundation for UnternehmerTUM, and nowadays we offer the biggest B2B startup platform with more than 100 corporate partners. For example, BMW, Facebook, Google, and we have a venture capital fund with over 200 million euro under management and cooperation with leading global venture capitals. So this is how our structure looks like. And I think you can imagine that Munich is really a fantastic startup location. You have everything you need. We collaborate with industry partners, great universities, and with this we have access to talents and offer fantastic support with the funding opportunities. With us, you can get access to a network of over 20,000 people who are actively involved at UnternehmerTUM and are available, for example, as mentors, advisors, or collaborative partners. Our platform produces and supports successful tech startups. You also saw some in our clip, and only to give you an overview of 2 startups, like Flix Mobility. They or millions of passengers travel nowadays with Flix Mobility. There are more than 400,000 daily connections to 2,500 destinations in more than 35 countries. They handle the network planning, marketing, sales, and the customer service while they relate to regional coach partners. They started in 2013 and our venture capital partners invested in them. So they are really growing internationally, and I think you can't miss the green buses on the European highways. Another startup, to give you a short introduction, is Lilium. They develop an on-demand air taxi, and yeah, they attracted also over 100 million in funding and employ hundreds of people now. The latest flight lasted almost 60 minutes with up to 300 kilometers per hour. So yeah, they already took part in a few programs at UnternehmerTUM, and I think with this you have a nice best practice overview of our startup development. So our vision, together with the TUM, to the affiliation of TUM, and also together with the city of Munich, is to create a future city that is livable and efficient. So yeah, it's a nice new joint initiative together with the city of Munich. We built a new building which is starting this year in summer, and with this building we offer new office space. We offer startup programs there. We will build up a new maker space, which is a workshop to create prototypes or to develop them, and also co-working spaces for our international startups and innovative companies. Yeah, to stick to the internationalization topics, we have a really big international partner network all over the world. We can count over 50 partners worldwide. And with this, we help international talents to start in Munich and also to enter the German market. But on the other hand, also support local startups who would like to enter foreign markets. We can do this with our strategic partnerships, where we offer communication of offers, doing events together, but also to stick to knowledge exchange. And only to give you an example, there is our offer, the landing pad, where we offer a co-working space in our locations. And the second thing is we have project partnerships, mostly projects funded by the European Union. And I would also like to give you an example with our cross-cultural exchange program, which is called Erasmus for Young Entrepreneurs. This connects aspiring or young founders with experienced founders all over Europe. It enables a collaboration between both, and this is also able for really new entrepreneurs and successful SMEs or startups. So you also can see here the contact and a QR code where you can find more information later on. And UnternehmerTUM is one of the intermediary organizations who supports this program for Munich and German startups who would like to go abroad. Yeah, to give you a few numbers, we can count 5,000 participants in our educational program per year, with and also 50,000 alumni. We have more than 300 startup programs related to tech innovations. We develop and support a lot of startups per year, and we can do this with all our incubation accelerator programs with the UnternehmerTUM venture capital partners, but also with external and internal startup coaches. In addition to that, we identify innovation and new business models for tomorrow in already established companies. So with this, I show you my last slide. I show you all our programs, but also partner programs which have been developed during the last 20 years. And you can see we can offer programs in different categories like education, focus, startup programs, innovation for companies, but also funding opportunities. And as I already mentioned, a high-tech workshop where prototypes can be developed. Yeah, so I gladly hand over now to my colleague Violetta. She will give you a nice overview of our programs in more detail, and have fun, enjoy the next few minutes, and I really look forward to all the startup pitches.
Thank you very much, Anna. Hello also from my side. I'm Violetta, and as Anna said, I'm going to give you a quick overview of some of our programs. This will be 4 startup programs and 3 other chins that might be of particular interest for you. I'm going to highlight the main topics of the programs, and on the slides that we're going to provide, you can find more details about, for example, next application deadline, a contact, and internet page. And first to say, all our startup programs are free of charge for startups and for talents, and we take no equity. So the first program I'm going to start with is Explore, and I'm going to, thanks. Explore is our pre-incubation program for founders and for startups with tech-based ideas. And in this program, we'll prepare the startups for the next stage, for the incubation phase, and also how to acquire their first seed capital. We also have a matchmaking process for talents and for startups who are, for example, looking for co-founders. And during the program, we support the startups and the founders and the talents with how to, for example, how to develop business model strategies, how to identify market opportunities, how to understand customer needs and develop their value propositions, but also the whole way to develop MVP. This might be hardware, this might be software, how to pitch, how to optimize their pitch deck, and how to develop as a team, mindset, culture, and also leadership skills. And application is possible for startups, but also for individual talents. Our next program in the incubation phase is Expreneurs. And Expreneurs is a 3-month program for early stage startups, also with a strong high-tech focus. For example, in the areas with technologies in the areas of software, of hardware, artificial intelligence, also Internet of Things, additive manufacturing, for example, 3D printing, robotics, and augmented and virtual reality. And we offer our teams mentorship by some of the most successful tech entrepreneurs in Europe, but also direct access to some of the largest companies, for example, in Germany, but also in Europe. And which is also true for all our programs, access to our high-tech workshop in Munich, prototyping grants, and also office space. After that, we have 2 programs that are acceleration startup programs. The first of them is Tech Founders. Tech Founders is a 20-week program. It's an international accelerator. And Tech Founders brings together tech startups and startups together with corporate partners and also with venture capitalists. So we offer, as in the other programs, also intensive coaching and individual mentorship. But the most important for this program is the partnership with the corporate partners. And usually the corporate partners, they become the first client of the startup after that. And during the program, the startups, they have a project budget of 25,000 euro, also free office space and support for prototyping. And at the end of the program, there is a demo day event with more than 250 venture capitalists, business angels, and industry contacts. And in the current batch, some of our current corporate partners, for example, Miele, Knorr-Bremse, Festo, and Aldi. And the team of tech founders is also operating the SAP Foundry in Munich, Startup Foundry in Munich, and also another accelerator program, Respond. The next slide. Respond is an also international accelerator program that takes 5 months, and it promotes both the responsible leadership and also sustainable business models. Also in line with the agenda of United Nations for 2030. So in this year, in 2021, some of the areas Respond is looking into and also looking for startups are, for example, future of work. This might be skills, this might be tools to enable equal access to employment, also to improve working conditions. And other areas are, for example, sustainable urbanization and responsible economy, for example, concepts in the areas of responsible use of products and sustainable production as well. And we opened application actually yesterday, so we are glad that we have, I think, 1 more month to apply for the program. After that, we have our UnternehmerTUM venture capital partners on front. It is an independent private venture capital firm, and it's based in Munich and in Berlin, and invests in early stage technology startups from all over Europe. And focus is mainly on B2B business models in the areas of industrial technology, software enterprises, as well as mobility. And usually the investment rounds are between 500,000 and 5 million, and in total, actually up to 15 million for a startup. And in the portfolio, there's some very famous successful startups from Europe, such as Flixbus, Flix Mobility, Lilium, and Isar Aerospace. It's a Munich-based startup. The next team that we want to present is actually my home team, UnternehmerTUM Business Creators. And at UnternehmerTUM Business Creators, we work together with corporate partners and also with medium-sized companies. And together with them, we develop new and innovative business models, and we implement them. So really from the first idea to the spin-off. And what we do is we connect our corporate partners with our innovation system. We also match them with startups, and we empower the employees to develop and implement the ideas. And as we focus on implementation, we are continuously looking not only for startups for our partners, but also for implementation partners. For example, in the area of software, but also hardware prototyping and development, and also in other high-tech technology areas where I can imagine we can also cooperate. And on the next slide, you see some of our corporate and medium-sized companies that some of our partners we are currently working on innovation topics. And last but not least, we have our team Applied AI, Applied Artificial Intelligence. And this is currently actually the biggest in Europe initiative of its kind, with over 50 partners from science, from industry, and also from the general public, and also startups. And the idea behind Applied AI is to foster an exchange of knowledge and also to make use of artificial intelligence technology, and also then advance the qualification of companies, but also of general public. And at the end, I want to say that at UnternehmerTUM, our vision is to turn visions into value, and in this way to shape the world we live in. So we can do this, as Christian said in the beginning, we can only do this together. So we're very happy to expand our community, to expand our network, and to explore areas where we can work together with you, and we'll be very glad. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward for the presentation, the pictures of startups.
Thank you, Violetta, for the fascinating presentation. Now we go to Nato, who is co-founder of the Bulgarian Startup Association, to make a short presentation on the Bulgarian startup community. Nato, up to you.
Thank you very much, Stefan. Thank you to Violetta and to everyone from UnternehmerTUM. From what we have seen, there is really much ground for collaboration between the Bulgarian entrepreneurship and innovation ecosystem and UnternehmerTUM. And I really believe that after the end of this event, we would actually see a lot of potential. So today I'll do a very short presentation because we would like to focus more on the companies. But starting off with, is Bulgaria really that innovative? So this is the question that we would like to answer today. And on our first slide, we will see actually what is the main goal of BESKO. Bulgaria is the Bulgarian Startup Association, and we act as a bridge between the startup community and institutions. So our vision for the country is to become the European Startup Incubator. And you may say that this sounds probably very ambitious, but we do believe that we have the prerequisites for this. Our mission is to transform the economy of the country through high value-added and knowledge-based industries based on R&D and innovation. And our focus is on working on legislation and, of course, supporting startups. So I'm not sure if you see my slides very well. I mean, we could go without slides as well. So anyhow, in the last years, Bulgaria has developed a strong capacity in different fields. And we believe that we could be the champions, but as you may guess, we cannot be champions in each and separate field. So we have decided in general to focus in specific sectors. So you'll see now in the presentations we tried to gather companies from different sectors so that you would have a main idea. Of course, I would probably say that ICT is the strongest sector, having companies from developing blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, smart cities. We have companies from the health tech and biotech sector. As I mentioned, science-based and R&D-based companies are also moving forward very quick. We have from the aerospace industry, really a whole different field of companies. And my last slide had a lot of companies that you may have never heard of, but they're really making groundbreaking innovations in technology. So without wasting any more time, I'd actually like to give the floor to the companies themselves, because I believe they would present our ecosystem in the best possible way. And the first company that we'll start with, they have customers there in the aerospace industry, and some of their customers are NASA, the European Space Agency, Stanford, and Harvard. So I'd like to give the floor to Raicho from Endurosat.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you. Should I share the screen, or I can go just without the presentation as well?
Yeah, you can share your screen as you wish.
Just give me 5 seconds to. Do you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
The presentation? Do you see the presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Raicho. I'm founder and CEO of Endurosat. We are already 6 years company. I wouldn't call us a startup. Right now we are scale up more. We are building satellite technologies and entire nano-satellites for different industries. What we are trying to solve is a very big barrier that we consider. To get to space, even with nano-satellites today, it's very complex, and it requires every single customer to go through a very complex and gnarly satellite value chain that starts with you building your satellite, then putting your payload, a camera, an IoT sensor, an experiment for space exploration, whatever you want to fly, then going to a very difficult space qualification, then registering your frequencies for operating on global level, building antennas on the ground, building a mission control, and only then customizing your own cloud for receiving the data. Even for a small nano-satellite constellation, and the nano-satellites, by the way, are the most affordable part of a spacecraft that we have today on the market. It still costs hundreds of millions just to get off the ground and a few years in development, and we consider this a complete waste of resources and time. Why? Because about 95% of all new space startups at the end are data startups. They want to fly some kind of sensor and get valuable information on the ground. So what we did in a nutshell is we built our own satellites, and we are offering them as a service, literally streamlining a very complex satellite value chain into literally a streamlined service to get your payload, your sensor off the ground as soon as humanly possible at the fraction of the cost. And so our space customers would not have the complexity to care about the entire licensing, launching operations, ground stations, etc. What we call this is a shared satellite service. It's actually, I think it's quite interesting, because the way that we built our satellites on technology level, the biggest innovation is they're software defined in architecture. What it means in a nutshell is that you can literally change and modify, even in flight, the entire parameters of all the avionics to support the exact needs of different payloads. What it means in a nutshell is that you can literally launch several different payloads of several different customers on the same satellite. And the service is very streamlined. You give us what you want to fly, and we get it there in 6 months without the traditional complexity, so that you can focus on your sensor in space, you can operate through the cloud, and we take care of the rest. This is a visualization of the satellites that we fly. They have a very fast and slow connectivity options, processing capability. They have a huge amount of payload space available for the entire payloads of the customers, and they permit us to fly multiple customers on every single satellite, between 5 and 10 customers. This is a screenshot of how the mission operations look like. The customer owns and operates his own payload directly via cloud. the customer receives and commands whatever he has in space in the satellite via this cloud, and this tremendously saves you all the complexity. And very last slide, just to give you the context, literally the service is simplified in a way: give us what you want to fly, and in 6 months receive your data and telemetry over the cloud. So this is what we do. Today we have more than, I think it's 105 or 6 customers around the planet that use our technologies and our satellites. And we keep growing. Right now the team is 65 people, and this year we are launching another 3 satellites of the shared satellite service in space with SpaceX.
They won the Pioneers Festival in 2015 in Vienna and were appointed by the International Air Transport Association as its first strategic partner in the unmanned aircraft systems. So now I'd like to give the floor to Dynamics.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Yvette. I'm just going to share my presentation. 1 second. Okay, so yes, my name is Yvette and I'm the Director of Business Development at Dynamics. As Natu mentioned, we are developing and operating unmanned cargo aircraft. The company was founded back in 2014 by 2 brothers, Konstantin and Svilen. Now we have over 30 aerospace engineers working on the aircraft, and we have some great advisors and investors that help us throughout the way. We are IATA's first and only strategic partner, and this is the 4th year in a row that we're their strategic partner. With everything that happened in the past year, we're really asking the question, can you move goods without moving people? And our answer is yes. We've developed the Black Swan. This is our quarter-scale prototype, which we've been flying for the past few years. And at the moment, we're in a final stage of assembly of the full-scale prototype. It's going to use a certified Rotax engine, able to carry 350 kilograms of payload at a distance of 2,500 kilometers. Because we've done absolutely everything in-house, from the design to the manufacturing, avionics, we've actually managed to build a very fuel-efficient aircraft that only uses 6.3 liters of gasoline for 100 kilometers, so similar to a car. And this way, we're not just cutting down the operating costs, but also the emissions in comparison to conventional aircraft. In terms of applications, we started with e-commerce in mind, but throughout the years, we actually saw many other applications, like in the pharmaceutical industry, in perishables. Also, we're working with EasyJet on a spare parts delivery project, as well as a few big freight forwarding companies, one of them in Australia, where we'll be delivering spare parts to mining sites. Other than the drone, we are also developing the whole ecosystem. So we're looking after the ground infrastructure, or the so-called drone ports that are necessary for the drones to take off and land, as well as the flight control, the autopilot, the communication with the drone itself. So far, we've managed to develop quite an outstanding network of drone ports within Europe. Some of them have, some of those locations have already been announced, and others are still in the pipeline. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is connect places directly via air that haven't been connected before, and this way position ourselves somewhere between the air and road transportation. Those are some of the prices that we're working with here in Europe with some of our partners. And in the timeline, we hope to see the aircraft flying as early as January next year. My name is Yvette, and I'll be happy to answer your questions whenever you have them. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Yvette. It's been fun while watching the presentation of UnternehmerTUM and looking, for example, the Lilium project. I saw how many common features we have between Bulgaria and Germany. So now we're going to go in a bit different field, in the biotech field. And the next company is the first live tissue 3D printing company in Bulgaria. And this is Printivo. Spas, welcome.
Hello. Thanks a lot about this opportunity. I'm now sharing a screen for just a short presentation. So about Printivo. We are a company dealing with 3D bioprinting, as Natu mentioned. Currently, we are more than 20 people working in our labs in Sofia Tech Park, and we are developing a 3D bioprinting technology to create artificial human tissues. And basically, what we've been doing for 4 years now, we've been developing an proprietary technology of bioprinting. We've developed our own bioprinters and bio-inks, which is the medium where we are seeding the stem cells from patients and donors. And we've developed a few of them to create human tissues, which are now a cutting-edge therapy for a lot of medical conditions that don't have an alternative. These so-called orphan diseases, and from a year and a half, we've been working on a really severe case called Asherman syndrome, which is a case where females don't have, or they have an absent endometrium, and they cannot get pregnant. And in this situation, there is no alternative but a tissue engineering approach, and that's why we've been really focused on how to solve problem that is really big, even in Europe, because there are more than 200,000 women with this condition only in the European Union. So we started working with a few hospitals, some of them here in Bulgaria, some of them in Denmark, also partnering with IMEC Belgium and a few universities in UK. And we started to develop and bioprint the first endometrial tissue, which is the tissue of the inner layer of the woman's uterus. So far, we've been developing it as a lab prototype and are doing some field tests and piloting with our partners. Also, we've received grant funding with the Ministry of Economics here in Bulgaria about this project. And currently, we are heading to preclinical trials and pilots with early adopters, and looking for support as a partners and maybe additional funding, grant and equity funding for this. And we've been working also on a few other things as well, but the endometrium project for now is the best option for saving and preventing these severe conditions of Asherman syndrome. So this is our main focus for now. And it would be really interesting for me to explore some options in this direction in partnering in Germany with you. Thanks a lot for your attention. I hope I'm ready with the time.
Thank you, Spas. You did perfectly as the way you're running the company. Now the next company, or I would say initiative, is a great example of a spin-off and a community center that not only provides great technical services and solutions, but also educational services and creates community around it. So I would like to give the floor to Mihailo Nikolic from The Resonator. Misha?
Hi, thanks, Nato. My name is Mihailo Nikolic, and I'll present you Resonator. So Resonator is a co-innovation hub, and I'll just point out what co-innovation means from our perspective. So we created an innovation ecosystem which will be replicated across different hubs. But the main idea and main concept is that we have a purpose to change the mindset of people towards value creating co-innovation, which is a collaborative approach to solve complex problems. Resonator is built and thought as a concept as an exponential organization, which is based on a few principles, and the main idea is that we're tapping into abundance of knowledge and technological progress. The core idea is that we're here to help partners and businesses across different industries to engage in converging technologies and solutions between each other. So the hubs on their own, the physical spaces are there to provide affordable access to product development to any size of company and individuals. It's open to the public, or will be later this year, and it focuses on actually providing really affordable access to tools and to labs. The concept actually started 2015. We started developing our first hub late 2016. What we saw as a need was that between co-working spaces where there's a lot of focus on the social or the, let's say, pitching side of things, and hacker spaces, which are really closed groups of let's say, facilities where you have community engaged in different kinds of prototyping, there was nothing which connected those two worlds, and kind of the two communities or the two types of people were really disconnected at that point. That's why we decided to design something completely different. Resonator is going to be primarily focused on being an intermediary. We will provide facilities, but we will also provide different services. The main idea, though, is that we will engage with different partners who have domain knowledge in different areas. So although we will be building a team in different areas, we don't want to be tapping into other people's domains in terms of expertise. So we will be there to lead the partnerships between different parties and find the most suitable solutions for different problems, but we want to be focused on actually being the intermediary primarily. Obviously, the problems a lot of businesses face are clear to most people here, I guess, but I'll just run through them quickly. So corporations, which is one of the main, let's say, revenue streams we have in mind, is something we want to use as a tool to actually bring in business and generate revenue and be able to provide really affordable solutions to startups or individuals. So corporates on their own, they're quite immune, as well, I'd say, to innovation, based on the fact that businesses are built on principles which are trying to protect the products they have. So trying to create an innovation which disrupts the product or the service of a company is actually against the core principles of that same company. So what we're taking out teams from corporates and building teams with other stakeholders or other experts to actually enable them to create their next product line and innovate in their space. On the other hand, experts are facing primarily problems around being able to participate in larger projects which would normally be, let's say, available to them if they're simply freelancers or small teams. So through Resonator, we can connect those two groups and create opportunities for both of them. The co-development model is an idea which will bring different tools, different experts, different companies to the same level where they can actually work together. And we want to be not the leading party, we want to be the enabler, really. So Resonator wouldn't be necessarily being, let's say, in between different people. We want to enable them to work together by making the introductions, by giving space to people to work collaboratively together, but also find the right solutions which are already existing. So quite often what we see is that there are solutions which are perfectly designed to build products or services in different areas, but they're designed particularly in mind with the specific, let's say, industry. A lot of the technology built for one industry could be reused in other industries, but there's no communication going on between those, so that you can potentially create a bigger solution or extend the technology in different areas. This is basically what our team will focus on, and basically research and development, but also analysis of existing tools, validating those tools, sense checking, and also doing background checks and so on in terms of the validity or also the quality of the products. The benefits we see is that we have a really open environment where people can work on R&D, use extended R&D for their businesses. So basically employ other people to do R&D on their behalf and for their idea. Create corporate accelerators if you're an enterprise or corporate. We're providing also matchmaking services, co-development opportunities between different businesses which can engage in building bigger solutions together. Based on either existing technology and integrations, or building new technology based on different team and skill sets. Obviously, access to experts and talents is something which is also important in that area. The Resonator network, partner network, is growing, and we are engaging with some very large organizations, all the way from electronic manufacturing to software and even non-profits. In terms of team, we also want to provide in local hubs, which will be growing, the first one being in Sofia, but also in other areas across the world. We want to enable corporates to give innovation packages to their employees. So basically enable them, instead of just reading about innovation, to actually engage in hands-on workshops and having the tools and labs to actually build stuff and experiment. Apart from that, we also have our own STEM education company. We have a STEM education showroom, which is a nice benefit to employees and for their kids, obviously. This is the design of the first space, which is in Sofia. So it consists of some social spaces, but also labs to facilitate collaboration, which is down there. You have CoLab 1 and 2. These two are designed to be for trainings, for workshops, for webinars and streaming. But we also have a podcast and meeting space where we can record podcasts and simply have high quality video conferencing with clients or partners. The office is a free area where people can work from their laptops, but it's not going to be a desk rental. So there's no desk rental at all in the space. We are not the co-working in the classical sense. We provide labs and access to labs, and the labs are covering sound engineering, device and software automation. We have XR, which covers all different virtual, augmented reality, mixed reality, and so on, an electronics lab, and a fabrication lab or maker spaces, as you like. We also have showrooms, which is quite an interesting proposal towards enterprises and startups to be able to show products to the people who are visiting, but also do demos on location. And also separate STEM education showroom, which focuses on actually showing real instruments and curriculums to parents, to principals of schools, and everyone, and teachers, obviously, everyone who's interested in STEM and what it is. Next to it, we have also a classroom. The design of the space is actually built already. It's equipped to a large extent, but most probably will be launching around spring, hopefully, depending on the case with COVID. These are a few photos from this place right now. And yes, thanks for listening. Back to Nato.
Thank you, Misha. The next company addresses a huge issue in the world. Most probably you didn't know that over 65 million people in the world need a wheelchair. And so, well, the next company revolutionizes wheelchairs, and what some people would call the wheelchair of the future, I would call the Omnibot of the future. and the company is iRise Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Lubomir Vasilev. I'm founder and CEO of iRise Mechanics. I have a short video to share what is our product about. And yes. Okay. I don't know whether you see it.
I'm founder and CEO of iRise Mechanics. I love Christmas, the shining lights, and the happiness in my
you
children.
have to share your screen. We don't see it.
It was only a dream. After a ridiculous accident, my wife was locked to a wheelchair. Her condition reflected on our social life and the way we spent our time together with the children. But I never gave up. I decided to create a device which possibility to be together whatever we do.
We don't see it.
I met open-hearted specialists and generous investors.
Okay.
Together, we constructed Omnibot. It is light and compact.
Do you have probably your presentation?
You can stand up alone with the help of gas-assisted springs.
Sorry.
The capability of opening the rear wheels is clear for easy transfer.
Could you please pause the video for a second?
Yes.
Now, my wife is totally independent. She can move in stand-up position, which
the thing is, because the video is quite impressive, I suggest that we go on until we fix the technical issues, and when you see how to share a screen, we're gonna come back to the company. Is this okay?
Yes, okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
So at this stage, we are opening a seed round after 2 months. For now, we have a working prototype, which we tested with 40 people. I'm sorry that you cannot see the working prototype. So we have to develop a product. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. Lyubo, I suggest that we go on and then we're going to find a way to show the Omnibot.
Yes, but this was the main.
No, we're going to go back to you. Once we go with the other presentations, we're going to go back. So we'll still have the opportunity to show it to the people. No worries.
Okay, so sorry.
Okay, so because we're on an engineering topic, something that probably we didn't mention, but Bulgaria is known for its engineering talent. And by the way, we have numerous international companies coming to Bulgaria and basing their R&D companies because of this talent pool. So now the next company is also an example of traditional Bulgarian engineering, and it shows how the gas industry can prepare for the fourth industrial revolution. And now we have IntegraSec.
Hello, Nato.
Hi there.
Let's see my presentation. One moment. Did you see my screen?
Nope. I'm afraid you have to share it with us.
But I will.
On the right corner, down right.
Yeah. Right now?
Wonderful. We see it. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Smilan Milanov, CEO of IntegraSec. IntegraSec aims to transform business process in industrial gas sector. At the moment, the sector is purely analogous. The most advanced technology is a barcode system. The gas distributors have no answer to simple question: where are all your bottles at all the time? How much gas is left in every cylinder? When will the next order come in, etc. We offer a real-time consumption information provided by a smart system, increasing sales and reducing cost and loss. How we do it? with hardware, with original development from our R&D team, appropriate network for transmission of information, and IoT platform fully ready to meet customer needs. So we offer following benefits: increasing sales volumes of gas with more than 10%, add new services on the field, reduce transportation and logistic costs by over 15%, optimization of human resources, prevention of asset loss, and many others. The market size is huge. In Europe, there is more than 34 million gas bottles. In Bulgaria, there is more than 500,000. At the moment, our company has signed letter of intent and started POC with the Bulgarian branch of German company, which is number 5 in Europe, like distributor of industrial gases. This is our milestone targets in 2021 and etc. to 5 years on front. And the biggest advantage of IntegraSec is our team. Everyone is very experienced, more than 20 years, and highly motivated to succeed. In the summary, so there is an analog industry seeking for digitalization. We have perfect technical solution from IntegraSec responding for customer needs. We have strong team with proven experience in technology, IoT, and B2B sales over 20 years. We have ambitious but achievable goals supported by milestones. And our first proof of concept is founded by Robert Bosch Venture Capital, Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Smilan, as well. Now we're going back to the software industry, and the next company is one of the rising stars in the enterprise software. They recently got a funding of 2.5 million euro, and this is Tiger Technology. Alexander?
Hello. Okay, thank you, Nato. My name is Alexander Lefterov, and I'm the founder and CTO of Tiger Technology. For today's presentation, I have chosen I'll just talk and explain what we do because the time is too short for any meaningful presentation with a lot of technical content. Tiger Technology is a Bulgarian software company, currently with a subsidiary in the US with around 45 employees. It has been actually established 16 years ago in trying to solve problems with fast access to shared storage. Solving this problem, we focused our effort in developing storage solutions for the media entertainment industry and other related verticals dealing with video processing. Over the years, we became a globally recognized player in this market niche with installations all over the world in most of the largest televisions and post-production facilities. Among our customers are names like Disney, Universal, BBC, MTV, RTL, as well as governmental and military facilities. 4 years ago, in partnership with IBM and based on technology that we have been developing for years, we created a product focusing on solving the problems associated with building a transparent and effective hybrid solution featuring cloud storage. Since then, we have been working mostly in developing and refining our technology and products in this particular space. Today, our technology and the product Tiger Bridge, which is based on it, is the most feature-rich, flexible, and efficient technology in existence. It can fit in the most demanding and hybrid storage environments featuring Windows operating system and any public or private cloud. As such, we are a desired partner of some of the largest cloud vendors like Microsoft and AWS for the most complex projects on the field. Because of the generic nature, our product is applicable in a wide range of industries and verticals, and its customer base range from home users to small and medium businesses and all the way up to large enterprise and government institutions. We're especially efficient in verticals that deal with large quantities of rarely accessed data, or what is known as cold data, that can benefit greatly of the cloud storage offerings. such verticals that we have customers in our surveillance, media processing, medical, construction, oil and gas, and so on. Based on this technology, we have created some specialized solutions. One is in the surveillance industry, together with a global market leader in this sector, which is called Milestone. And currently we're completing another one with Philips for the digital pathology medical sector to be deployed for the first time in a German laboratory in the next month or so. Our technology has been recognized, and we are a technology partner of Microsoft, AWS, Google, IBM, Hitachi, Seagate, Fujifilm, Adobe, and others, as well as we are in OEM relation with Wasabi, Backblaze, Greymatter, and other vendors. We're looking to expand our partner and customer base aggressively in the next 2 years to establish further ourselves as a technology leader in the cloud hybrid storage space. So hoping that I managed to get into the time slot. Thank you for listening.
Now, the next company is a blockchain and DLT service company, which was named a top B2B company in the world by Clutch. Now is the time to see the presentation of LineChain.
Thanks, Nato. And hey guys, been a real pleasure to meet the guys at UnternehmerTUM and also see so many familiar faces. Just going to share my screen real quick. Can you guys see it?
Hold on a second. Yes, we see it.
All right. So I'm Živko from LineChain, and as Nato said, we are a blockchain development company, and we build products with both startups and enterprises since early 2017. Since then, we've worked on about 90 blockchain projects with a strong focus on decentralized finance, digital assets, enterprise integrations, and blockchain development infrastructure. We're based in Sofia, Bulgaria, and we currently have a team of about 41 or 42 people. We would lie about the exact number. And these are some of our customers. We've been honored to have worked with some of the leading projects in the blockchain space and also Fortune 500 companies like Procter & Gamble. So really quickly about blockchain, as most of you may know, it's an infrastructure technology that allows for decentralization, automation through smart contracts, enhanced security and immutability, better traceability, better transparency, and last but not least, middleman elimination. Why is this important? So basically, this allows a whole set of new business models to emerge and use cases, including asset tokenization, supply chain tracking, digital currencies, shared KYC networks and consortia, and proof of origin solutions. Because I'm sure all of this sounds quite abstract, we have 3 really short use cases that we've worked on along with our customers. So Arxum is a German supply chain company that aims to improve supply chain processes for some of the biggest car manufacturers and some of the biggest pharma companies in Germany, in the world. And by leveraging blockchain, they're enabled to improve trust between counterparties, improve data integrity, and also prove the origin and basically the originality of, let's say, car manufacturing parts. Another one is Idonius. It's an asset tokenization project where we use the Ethereum blockchain to tokenize assets and luxury goods such as real estate, Picasso paintings, diamonds, and so on. And last but not least, one of our customers is also Cello. Cello is a project backed by Andreessen Horowitz and Coinbase Ventures, and what we built with them is essentially a mobile-first financial system for emerging markets based on stable cryptocurrencies and blockchain, of course. In addition to that, we've built a bunch of our own products as well. Most of them are open source developer tools that enable developers worldwide to build easier and faster on different networks like Ethereum, Polkadot, Corda, to name a few. Our tools have been used by some of the most popular and well-funded projects out there. So really happy to help the blockchain community move forward. That's pretty much it. Hope that I made it into a time limit. Happy to touch base with you guys after the event.
Thank you very much, Živko. And now going to the next company that show how artificial intelligence and machine learning could help ordinary business in their day-to-day operations. And if you don't trust me that the company has a great product, well, you could trust Coca-Cola or Telenor, who are only some of their happy customers. It's time to see analytics for everyone. Hi, Christo.
Hello, everybody. Just starting the presentation. Do you see the presentation?
No, we're almost there yet. Yes, now we see it.
Okay, so my name is Christo Hadžičanev and I'm co-founder and CEO of Analytics for Everyone. A4E is 5 years old company, and we already managed to achieve break-even in 2019. And now, more or less, we are focused on scaling. Using data science, what we deliver is client automation of decision. That's our particular target and our particular know-how, making them more efficient and agile. So we have quite a lot of main verticals we're operating in, primarily our banking and non-banking financial institutions, retail, fast-moving consumer goods, and telecoms. Our core strength is we have our proprietary unique know-how how to automate data science tasks, eliminating the human effort. And actually, that's the way we are able to deliver to various companies, including small and medium enterprises. So all that is based on self-adapting automation services. And we have actually our own growing platform that is cloud-based, and it contains an analytical engine and focused business solutions for enterprises, and we call it analytical AI as a service. So, of course, last but not least, the founders has done more 70 years of experience into the field, working for one of the biggest enterprises into the area worldwide. So our portfolio includes various of clients from really big to really small, from world-known enterprises like Coca-Cola and Vienna Insurance Group, and regional players like eBank, Nadele, Credissimo. So actually, last year, we managed successfully to get an investment round, which was targeted explicitly to scale into our business in DACH region. And for the last 2 years, we already built a partnership in DACH region based in Vienna. And we doubled the delivery team so to manage to process all the upcoming projects. During year 2020, we successfully executed the first project for multinational retailer in Austria. And currently, we have several leads in different stages in Germany and Austria, primarily into the retail and banking sectors. And more or less, that's everything for us. A4E stands for Analytics for Everyone, and I'm glad to answer to any further questions. If you have such, just drop me an email. Thank you very much.
Next company, and the presenter is, I would say, quite a modest and nice guy, but what I have to tell you is that the next company is probably the largest digital marketplace for IT trainers in the world. And Theodor Panayotov. So I think you have to unmute yourself because we don't hear you.
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Wonderful. So thanks for the opportunity. So I'm Theodore, founder, CEO of Coursdot. And what we do is we work in the technology training market. It's quite a large market, 18 million euros and growing globally. And in Europe, there's a few target markets. So Europe as a whole is a 750 million technology training market for things like Microsoft, VMware, Skills, AWS, and so on. It's super fragmented. And at the same time, there is an increasing need for cross and upskilling employees. And COVID changed everything. It used to be a market where 70% of the technology classes for employees of businesses were physical on site. Now it's all virtual. So what do we do? We have built our own platform. It has over 3,300 technology trainers listed on it. Each and every one of them has a profile. We have our own algorithms to search through them, to verify certifications. We have APIs to vendors like Microsoft. So we cover pretty much anything you can think of, any technology, any country you can think of, we already cover. And training companies and corporations send us their requests for their technology training budgets. So we solve a number of issues. It's very challenging to find trainers. It's very challenging to budget. There is a constrained supply of qualified trainers. There's a lot of administrative work to add new suppliers. We do all that by becoming the single hub, which opens up a world of opportunities and allows you to customize the training programs so that they best fit the needs of the business. In terms of customers, we've been on break even for a couple of years now. We have Uber, Progress Software, a couple of telecoms are a customer of ours, a couple of cybersecurity companies. I believe an important one is Software One, which is the largest reseller of software in Europe. They bought a German company called Comparex last year officially. We've been working with them for a couple of years now. So through them, we have reached large German multinationals like Aldi, Bücher, Getrag, and a few others. Also, all of the large training companies globally are customers of ours, and they buy trainer talent from us. So Fastlane, which is a German company, by the way, GFN, Global Knowledge, and many, many others. And the training we supply ranges from really basic stuff like Office 365 rollouts for Aldi in all the countries they're present, down to data science, AI classes for intelligence agencies, and cybersecurity for the US Army bases in Germany, and everything in between. So what happened in the last year? What happened is that the physical world turned into a virtual world. This is a picture of Tower Bridge. One of our customers has a multi-million-pound lease on an office next to Tower Bridge. It sits empty. It's been empty for a year now, and all of us in the world have Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So what we've been building in the past year is we built a new approach towards technology training for corporate customers. And it allowed us to train over 500 Azure engineers. So that's the Microsoft Cloud platform. We trained over 500 engineers in Switzerland with a partner throughout Q3 last year with great success. We were able to achieve great success in terms of certification and the results they achieved. And that's a screenshot of something which will pop up in a couple of months. But that's a screenshot of our prototype of the B2B product we have. Generally, the idea is to allow the full integration of CourseDot with the Microsoft Teams, which is a part of Microsoft Office 365 within B2B customers, and to allow trainers to be there, full management of training expenses, services, programs, learning journeys, everything for the learning administrators of large multinationals. In terms of business, we've been around for 5 years now. We started the business in 2016. We had a bunch of awards. The last one we got was Deloitte recognized us as number 13 in the fastest growing category for Central Eastern Europe last year in 2020. We are number 1 among the 3 Bulgarian companies which were able to qualify for this. So we're looking to expand in Germany and in the whole DACH region. It's one of the very important markets in Europe. We already have a small footprint, but it's really interesting to expand there. These are my contacts. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards.
Thank you, Theo. Thank you very much. Now, going on with the next company, you know that in most cases, a lot of the tech field, at least in Bulgaria, is based in Sofia. But apart from this, there are different tech centers across the country where you could see some innovation going on. And the next company is a great example. They're coming from Ruse, the 5th largest city in Bulgaria. This is Recheck, who are building blockchain products. So do we see Emilian? Oh, I guess Emiliano.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're here. Yeah.
Perhaps you can hear me now. Yeah, I'm coming from Russia, North Bulgaria, actually. Thank you very much for the organization of this event. And really pleasure to be here and present what we do. So I will try to share my screen and hopefully everything will work properly. I'll just need a second to switch, please. Hold a second.
Sure. In the meantime, it's 11:30. We're a bit late. Excuse our German friends that we're not as punctual as we would like to, but we have just a few more, actually 4 more companies to see. Are we there yet? Do we see the presentation?
Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, now, yes, we see it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just switch to the full screen. So big thanks to the colleagues from WimeChain that did some educating about blockchain previously. It was quite helpful, but what we do is exactly in this field. We are one of the pioneers in the development of practical blockchain solutions, at least in this part of Europe, in the Southeast Europe. We started this back in 2016, and then also we moved to Netherlands, and we have some business in Germany as well. You'll see it. And what we do is quite simple. We connect these existing systems, like databases, like software products, with the digital infrastructure of the future, which is very much decentralized. And the core of our solution is software development kit. It's a plug-and-play kit that can be very easily integrated in any kind of platform, in any kind of software. And it automatically creates digital identities of different items, users, products, and then you can use these identities to run some transactions. And you can use this for optimization of workflows. You can use this for information security, for food traceability. And as I mentioned, it's super easy for integration and for utilizing the features. So there are a number of tools. I will not spend much time here. Just wanted to point out that we provide the full infrastructure with all the apps, with setting up blockchain network if that's necessary, all the support and all the tools in one package. Actually, it is a bundle, so there are a number of different software components. On one hand, we provide a protocol for encryption, lots of applications, software libraries. There is a transaction engine that manages the way transactions are executed and recorded on the blockchain, and of course the support. There are a few things that really differentiate our company. Actually, we are blockchain agnostic, so our architecture of the software development kit is developed in a way that we can support multiple blockchain networks. And that's really crucial because we want to be future-proof and to see what kind of protocols, networks will emerge, and we would like to adapt our solutions to the protocols of the future. Of course, there is this full privacy and security in the way sensitive data is being managed, and you can verify these digital proofs directly on the blockchain. So it is very much about data integrity and data security. I just wanted to mention some use cases for which our technology is already being leveraged. On one hand, if you're doing something with digital assets, with tokenization, we can help with already developed solutions. Tracking and traceability is our sweet spot, of course. Blockchain is very much about this. Decentralized identity management. Exactly last year in December, at the end of the year, there was I think that it is like a strategic decision announced by the German government that decentralized identity is becoming a priority and people should control their data in their digital wallets. So we provide solutions in this, and actually this will be a very big emerging market. So many opportunities on the table now. Data timestamping or data fingerprinting is something that we do for breakfast. We do it all. We do it as a core competence. So this is something that is really crucial. So all the important assets and data in the future will be secured on blockchain one way or another. And of course, blockchain is very much about limiting fraud, and that's what we do. We participate in a number of corporate programs with very essential names. Currently, we also work with the Dutch government for running some pilot projects where blockchain plays a very important part. We are working with the Dutch Ministry of Interior and with the Dutch Cadastre. What is really hot now for our company and for our solution, digital passport of products, buildings, cars to manage circularity and sustainability data. It is at the heart of the European Green Deal, at the heart of the current sustainability goals. So many companies use our technologies. Actually, each week we receive new inquiry about how our technology can be used for digital passport. And if you would like to do a secure digitalization of business processes, of course, we can help, and especially where you would like to give more control over data to the users and to manage decentralized identities. The German link is becoming very important for us. We co-founded a company called IP Ocean, which is German, excuse me, it's a German startup that is developing a marketplace for intellectual property. We are the main technology partner, and we participate in the equity of IP Ocean, so it's a very good validation of our technology. And Fraunhofer is one of the first launching customers of what we do in terms of using Recheck and IP Ocean technology for secure data distribution. Thanks a lot for your time. That's my email, but of course you can take my contacts from the organizations that actually are in charge and organized this event. I'm actually trying now to exit full screen mode, and yeah, I'm available for any follow-up questions.
Thank you, Emil. Thank you very much. Now, going on with the next company, I was recently asked by a friend of mine if I were an investor in which company I would invest. Well, for sure, one of the seed stage companies that I would like to have in my portfolio is Sfera Technologies. Now you see that aerospace is a thing.
Hello, everyone.
Here's Zdravko.
Yep.
Hi,
I'm just going to share a few slides. I hope you can see this. Can you see it?
I'm afraid no. You have to share your screen.
Okay, just a second.
At the bottom right corner.
Yeah. I hope you can see now.
Yes, we're right about to see it.
Great. So I'll make this short and sweet. Sfera Technologies is a fairly young company. We've been around for about 1.5 years.
Sorry, Zdravko, we don't see your presentation. It just turned off for some reason. Probably don't play it on full screen mode. Just show your slides.
Yeah, I'll try like that.
This may be the reason.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, it's perfect like this.
Great. So we've been around for about 1.5 years. We launched in 2019 with the focus of building new space infrastructures as a spin-off of a space technology research group based in Bulgaria. We're still a small team of 5 people and 2 advisors, and our present focus is Homeport, which is a customizable ground segment service for the space industry. Before I explain what this is, I'm just going to give you a brief rundown of how actually space missions work. So every space mission has 2 segments. One of them is the space segment, which is what you basically launch in space. And the other one is the ground segment, which is used to communicate with whatever you have up in space. The space segment is something that has grown rapidly. Nowadays, it's very easy to build your own satellite, to order a satellite, to design one. So as a result of that, we have a very
rapid increase of the number of satellites that are launching and the number of satellites that are scheduled to launch. However, the ground segment isn't really following that trend, and that is for a few particular reasons. Most notably, the ground segment, which consists of the communications infrastructure to basically get in touch with the satellites and get the data from them, consists of ground stations, antennas, which cost a lot to set up. They cost a lot to maintain. Of course, all of them have to be licensed by the relevant radio frequency licensing authorities, which is a very painful and very slow process. And last but not least, all of this ground station hardware that exists is very disparate. There's a very large diversity of models, makes, and infrastructures and interfaces in which these stations are built. So it's very problematic to actually standardize the ground segment and make it move as fast as the space segment, which is already quite standardized and commoditized. As a result, we started building Homeport, which in essence puts all of this ground segment operation in a virtual mode. What does this mean? It means that if you're a space company, instead of having to go through the process of building your own ground segment and all these painful process and setting up your antennas, you can actually use our platform to compose a virtual ground segment for your mission by essentially contracting existing ground segments across the globe, existing stations. The process is fairly simple. We've developed an entirely web-based infrastructure where the stations register and can offer their free capacity to space companies. The platform itself supports the various types of storage to make it more convenient to transfer the data from the station to whatever location on the cloud the space company needs. And of course, access points to process the data and speed up the delivery to the end user of whoever wants to use this data. The major benefit of Homeport is that the whole process occurs virtually. So it means that this capacity of ground stations, this ability to receive data from satellites can scale very fast. It's a very lightweight process of actually increasing the network that doesn't cost anything. And as a result of this, we've already developed a prototype. We finished our pre-seed stage and developed a prototype called Hydrogen. And we're now working on the beta version, expanding our network of available ground stations for satellite communications across the globe. We already have 10 locations across the various radio frequency bands. We have 3 space agencies that have already agreed to join essentially the beta version testing phase. And we have a few ground station operators that have also joined up to essentially begin operations of the network. And we should begin to have commercial revenue by the end of this year, which is also pretty much the period of our seed raising. The beta version is going to launch in the second quarter of this year. It's prioritized for S-band frequencies, which is usually the frequencies in which IoT satellites transmit, and X-band, which is very suitable for Earth observation. It's pretty much the gold standard radio frequency on which imaging satellites beam pictures back to Earth. And it's part of our vision to essentially change the way space missions are done, because space missions nowadays are done in this paradigm of a space and ground segment. We want to make the ground segment essentially transformed into a global network of stations, of data points to make the whole operation of space assets much easier and much more streamlined, and in this way ease the development of space infrastructure so that we can move forward with actually getting into the new space age. I'll be happy to answer any questions later on if there are. This is from me, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Zdravko. So we have only 2 more companies and the video of Arise coming at the end. Now I will not do the fancy intros. I'll just give the floor to Bahrain Sports.
Hi, everybody. My name is Daniel, and I'm going to talk to you about sports today, and Bahrain Sports in particular. So let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we're just about to see it. Yeah, we do. You can.
All right, great. So let's start here. We have all seen Cristiano Ronaldo run around on the pitch and score goals, right? But actually what goes into being this great? What is, let's call it the greatness code? What defines right now the best athletes in the world is their long careers and sustainable peak performance is what we like to call it. And every team wants to build the next LeBron or the next Messi. And to do that, more and more teams are turning to data to understand and to boost the player's performance. And the athletes themselves, they are more and more invested. Actually, they're more invested than ever in their own performance in order to elongate their careers and to maximize their earning potential. Now, this combined with the social media giving athletes their own platform to reach fans and customers directly has resulted in even higher profile status for them. And as a result, and as the trade secrets of the best athletes have become known, what we've seen is an explosion in the general public desire for a healthier lifestyle. Now, let me ask you just a quick show of hands. How many of you are actually wearing right now some sort of a health tracking device? A smartwatch, a bracelet, a ring? Assuming many of you are. Well, congratulations. What you guys have right now is a flip phone. And some of the teams with the most of the top ones with the large budgets, they're using a BlackBerry. And you remember when the first iPhone came out and what it did to the BlackBerry, where our goal and what we're here to do is to offer the iPhone of sports systems. Basically, our goal is to help athletes play longer than what Zlatan Ibrahimovic is playing, almost 20 years, and to teams win more than what Bayern Munich is actually winning. And to do that, we have built an integrated, do-it-all performance tracking system. We give deep insights in the physical performance and the tactical execution of players, and we do it in real time, and this is the key part. Each second, we provide actionable insights to support coaches' decision-making and game management. And our system, it's fully mobile with a private cloud, autonomous offline operation, and AI powers the insights using a comprehensive historical database of the player's performance. It informs the pre-game preparation, in-game performance, and the post-game recovery for the players. And the system is open. It's capable of receiving input from multiple external data sources, and is compatible with existing systems used by our clients. Now, our strength is in the team. The team behind Barin. Our CEO and CTO have more than 25 years combined high-end ICT and embedded system experience. And this includes more than a decade with IBM Systems and Technology Group, where they work on nanotechnology and microelectromechanics. Now, more and more teams and more actually big tech firms are turning their eyes to the mass wearable market. However, there is a very sizable opportunity in this pro sports technology sector. And this is where the testing ground for such technologies is before they make their way to the general public. Now, Barin, we believe we are ahead of the curve technologically because of our focus on real-time data and insights and on integration.
Now,
and there is an opportunity to be explored by those who are willing and capable, and we are both willing and capable. And if you are willing to bring value and become part of our growth, well, we are more than happy to take you on this journey with us. So thanks. We are here to answer any questions, and good luck to everybody.
Thanks a lot. And the last presentation today is Biomic, who are building sustainable materials, and let's see their presentation. And
so hello everyone.
If we can do it for 3 minutes and not longer.
Yeah. So sharing my screen. Tell me if you see it. Okay. Do you see the screen?
Yes. Hold on a sec. Yes. Now we see it.
So hi guys, and thank you for everyone that stuck around. I know we're a bit off time, so I'm gonna try and make this fast. Biomic is a company that does one thing in particular. We do sustainable product design from innovative materials. What does that mean? We specialize in three things. We specialize in mushroom material. So that's a composite material that's out of mushrooms. Additive manufacturing. We have access to big equipment that allows us to 3D print almost anything. And we have sustainable and design analysis capabilities, meaning we can design it correctly. So the process we're doing is tested with customers. It allows for a lot of alignment and prototyping, and we have a couple of proven phases that allow full customer satisfaction and keep the product and process running on track. So the first thing we have expertise in is mushroom material. It's entirely compostable, made out of the root structure of mushrooms. So that's the root of mushrooms and agricultural waste. This material is fully sustainable. It composts our backyard. It's resistant to fire, moldable, shapeable in different types of forms, and also heat insulated. So what can you do from it? You can do packaging. First and foremost, we do product design for different companies. This is one of the projects we did for Bulgaria. It's for a cosmetic company. You can do interior design elements like lampshades, as well as furniture, and you can do construction, which is the plan for the future. The second thing we have a lot of experience in is 3D printing. And why 3D printing? Because it gets the process to a short, sweet, 3-step process where we can do multiple iterations and give functional prototypes for customers, and they're sustainable. So here a good way to explain this is our project with the product planning at Mercedes-Benz Germany. We have 3 on-running projects with them currently, and this is one for an assembly part. Their current part is made of plastic, takes about a year, and it's produced in a standard process. So what we did here, analyzed 6 sustainable materials, picked one that produces 4 times less CO2, making it 4 times more sustainable. And because of the 3D printing, we made it 4 times faster and saved about 15%. So how do we use a newer and more expensive technology and achieve savings? Well, that's where the sustainability and design expertise come in. We created one part fit 2 cars, meaning that they pay once, they get twice the benefit, and this allows us for budgeting for a more sustainable material and more expensive production technology. Currently, we're working on making one part fit 6 cars, making the project 3 times more sustainable, and will increase the savings exponentially. So this video is about to show, it was from our partners from Mercedes, but we're gonna skip for now and go to what we're looking for this year. The main problem with sustainable technologies is that they're very, very expensive and thus not very usable for big corporates that have large needs. So what we're going to be doing this year is making a pilot plant in Bulgaria for the mushroom material technology so we can make it more affordable and it would reach more and more customers. So this is the short intro. Thank you for your attention and thank you for staying tuned this far in the presentation.
Thank you, Atanas. Thank you very much. Now, the only thing that we have to see is the video of iRise Mechanics. In fact, now we're going to play it live from our studio, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Omnibot presentation.
My name is Lyubomir Vasiliev. I'm founder and CEO of iRise Mechanics. I love Christmas, the shiny street lights and the happiness in my children's eyes. But for a few years, this was only a dream. After a ridiculous accident, my wife was locked to a wheelchair. Her condition reflected on our social life and the way we spend our time together with the children. But I never gave up. I decided to create a device which gives us the possibility to be together whatever we do. I met open-hearted specialists and generous investors. Together, we constructed Omnibot. It is light and compact. Now she can stand up alone with the help of gas-assisted springs. The capability of opening the rear wheels gives clearance for easy transfer. Now my wife is totally independent. She can move in stand-up position, which improves significantly her health condition. Omnibot is part of her everyday rehabilitation procedures. The radius of turning is 0 cm, better than any other device on the market. Incorporating OmniMove wheels provides maximum maneuverability in narrow spaces. In sitting position, Omnibot is also safe and comfortable. Omnibot improved her self-esteem and increased her working capability and professional realization. For most people, walking around the Christmas streets is trivial. For her, is a dream come true. Now I have a new dream: to help as many people as possible to rise and stand up again. iRise Mechanics. Rise your freedom.
Okay, thank you very much. This was everything from the presentations of this is a small part of the more than 1,500 innovative companies in Bulgaria. Thank you very much, and I'd like to give the floor to Stefan Yonkov to close it for today.
So thank you so much for these amazing, exciting presentations. I'm sure that UnternehmerTUM has been impressed. Big thanks to Violeta Dimova, our partner from UnternehmerTUM, who have partnered us to organize today's event. Big thanks to Boyko Takov and all his team in Bulgarian Small and Medium Enterprises Promotion Agency. Big thanks to you, of course, NATO, for the great support, the great performance. Thank you so much from my side, and I hope to meet you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Goodbye, and have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Since the dawn of time, our drive for a better life now draws the map of our future. And Sofia Tech Park is the home of innovation. Business, science, and education feel at home. The laboratory complex of the park is the cutting edge of progress. Total of 11 high-tech laboratory units led by luminaries of Bulgarian science. Innovation is the focus of all the startup companies in the business incubator. Sofia Tech Park is home to dozens of young Bulgarian enterprises with a high-tech profile. Sofia Tech Park is the home of innovation.